Hey, welcome back to Ken's Cardboard. Thanks for stopping by, my friends. Baseball World Series is over. Dodgers winner. It was a very fun series to watch. Watched pretty much most of the games. Very entertaining, back and forth. Blue Jays winning the first game, Dodgers winning the next two, Blue Jays winning the next two, and then Dodgers ending up the last two. But the Jays, they played tough, but they just couldn't beat that Japanese powerhouse with Yamamoto, Ohtani, and Sasaki. It was, I think, the most watched World Series game in, I don't know, maybe history. I don't know, the last game. I don't know, there was a lot of people watching from Japan and Canada and the US, so gotta do that more often, right? MLB is gonna be hurting for fans probably after the end of next year, when the collective bargaining agreement expires and likely to be a lockout. I know that I haven't been going to many baseball games, but I did watch the World Series because I'm a little bit of a fan of the Blue Jays, because I like Bo Bichette, and it was cool to see that he got to play in the World Series after being out the two series before. So, and then he hit that 3-run home run in Game 7. Like, oh my gosh, he's going to be the hero, but didn't quite happen. Anyways, still good series. This is a card channel, so let's talk about some cards. I picked up one card recently, Pete Rose, and I'll share that card here. I'm also going to talk a little bit about some of my favorite Pete Rose cards I have in my collection. So I haven't picked up a lot of Pete Rose cards, because actually I haven't made a lot of Pete Rose cards like after his playing days, because I don't know that card companies were wanting to put him in their cards for some reason. But recently Panini and Leaf have now started putting his cards, his image on a card. So, and I don't know what's going to happen now that he has passed last year, if they're still going to continue to do that. Maybe they have a license that went for a certain period of time. So I want to turn the camera around so we can check out some of my favorite Pete Rose cards and the new one that I picked up. So. All right, got a few things up in the background. Got this cool drawing that was done by Four Leaf, sent that to me several years ago. Thanks, Eric, appreciate you sending that. Keep it up on my shelf with some other Pete Rose stuff. Pulled out this Wheaties box cover from my binder. The story about this ticket right here. As you can see, this is from Pete Rose's 4,192 hits. Little ticket stub there. This is a red version. There were some blue versions as well. I was walking with my buddy Dylan at the National in 2024, and we came across this booth that had a bunch of tickets, stubs, and we were just seeing what they had around there. I think Dylan was looking for someone who had hit home runs, and I saw a stack of these over there, Pete Rose, and I think these were like, maybe, I don't know, maybe like $20 or something like that, because he had a whole stack of these. But I think he only had one red one, the rest of them were different color. But I wanted to pick up this one because this is from September 11th, 1986, when Pete broke the record for number of hits. But that was a fun story. I also saw Pete Rose at that event. He was riding around in a golf cart going over to the eBay booth to do a little chat, little interview. But yeah, it was a surreal kind of day. And then he ended up passing away a few months after that. So got the 1970, I believe, yeah. This is 1971. 71 Topps Big. It's a really thick cardboard and not too great a shape, but kind of a little warped. It's got a little rough edge over there on the left, but still like these cards. These in really good condition. These are pretty penny, so I just got that one as a nice example for the collection. I just like, that's a great image there. Pete Rose kind of in his prime in the early 70s. You know, nice clean cut guy, and nice crispy white Reds uniform there. That's a staged photograph. So I'm going to go through my collection here of Pete Rose. Not all, my whole collection. I have a huge binder full of cards of Pete Rose. Just some of the cards I just pulled out of that binder. First up, I want to show this cool starting lineup. This doesn't, I don't think it was licensed by the MLB Players Association and Major League Baseball. So it shows us World Series stats. This is from, you know, the Kenner collection there. I like this because it has Charlie Hustle on the bottom there. Not a lot of cards have that nickname. Here's a cool card of him as an Expo from the '84 collection. Stewart. There's a regional card. You know, there's not a lot of cards of him as an Expo. He was only there in Expo for a few seasons in '84. It's in French as well. Shout out to my buddy Walter. Here is a O-Pee-Chee. No, this is Topps Burger King. So his regular 1979 Topps, he's still in the Reds uniform and action shot. This is, I don't even know if it shows All-Star on it, but this one is the Burger King version where they actually showed him on the Phillies because he was a free agent that year. As you can see, his Red stick stats through 78. But cool to see that. That's kind of a updated or traded set thing that before that really existed. Here's a cool Drake's card, Drake's Bakery. There's a nice, I like the powder blue color there with the Phillies uniform, kind of goes well, color match. These are licensed, printed by Topps Chewing Gum, as you can see down the bottom, from 1881. But a little bit different, a little bit slightly different back with the Drake's logo at the top, even though it says Topps down at the bottom. So that's a pretty cool card. I liked that food issue. Who remembers Sportflix? Let's see if you can make it work there. There's the headshot, batting, a couple different batting shots there. I love Sportflix when they came out. Card number 1. This is a 1985, I think. Cool Sportflix. Here's another card that I didn't really know existed until I started looking up, going through a list of what Pete Rose cards I should add to my collection. Again, this is the Expos powder blue uniform. Looks like he was doing a little bunting there, mentioning the tape on the bat, but this is from Fleer Update from 1984. But yeah, he played part of the season to 84. He thought his career might be kind of over, but the Reds took him back, and he became player manager in '85. Recently, I picked up this card here. It's Boys of Summer. This is a Panini card, as I mentioned earlier. Pete, this is real similar to the image that Four Leaf had here. That's crazy. Did you copy that, Eric, from this card? I doubt you did, because this card was printed in 2024, and you gave me that like in 2020 or something. So, but yeah, it's a really similar image of Pete there. But so these are numbered at a 149. This is the red parallel. Thought that was just a cool card, even though it's not licensed, which none of the Pete Rose cards are licensed. The newer ones, at least. And then here are some of my favorite cards from back in the day. Here's a 1965 Pete Rose. I really like this image with the sleeveless jersey uniform, the two color hat, and then just the card design with the pennant and the old, the old school Reds logo there, Mr. Red. It's his third year card. I think it's one of my favorite images of all of his cards. One of my favorite cards of his also is the Rookie Cup from 1964 by the batting cages there. And again, he's got the sleeveless unis. The Reds kind of bought those back in the 90s for a short period, but interesting little jersey choice there. The backs of these cards, not my favorite, but yeah, that's 1964. And as you know, I picked up this card at the Nationals to complete my Topps run of Pete Rose in 2024. Picked up the same day I picked up that ticket with my buddy Dylan, walking around. This nice, pretty clean copy. I like the color on it. A lot of times you get different color blue. You know, not perfectly centered, but I think it's a really good copy for a 4.5. And happy to have that in the collection. And then here's a card that my buddy Walter at Placata Card sent me. This is from I think it's a 1980s set, the official Pete Rose baseball card set. Topps made a complete set of Pete Rose. There's like I don't know, 70 cards or 80 cards, something like that in the whole set. I have it in my binder, but he got me this autographed one here, Pete Rose. And I have the only other I do have a Pete Rose baseball that I have autographed, but the sun faded something faded the ink on that card, on that baseball. And I also have a bat that's signed by him. So you can pick up a lot of autographs from Pete Rose. He signed so many things. They're not that expensive, but I was checking around the internet, and I saw that Leaf had made some really cool cards of Pete Rose and recently, and I thought this one was a little different here. So this is the nicknames card from, what year is this? 2018. So obviously kind of like the, you know, the refractor kind of images. You got also some etching around the name, and you know, got the autograph. I really like this because it's the nicknames. You know, you don't see a lot of cards with Charlie Hustle on it. I know I had that one card here. The starting lineup also had Charlie Hustle on it, but that is his nickname. So pretty cool. You can see that. There you go. Getting the light there. It's a sticker auto, but you know, I was getting it mainly for the card, the autograph kind of little bonus there. These are numbered out of 10. I paid a little bit up for this. I think, you know, I don't know. Again, there's a lot of Pete Rose fans out there, collectors, and I think I paid a little over $50 with shipping, but it was cool to add this to my collection. I don't pick up a lot of Pete Rose cards, but you know, lately I've been just checking around, you know, remember my childhood and finding cards that bring joy to my collection. So, yeah, or to me. But this is just a beauty. Happy to add that Pete Rose to my curated Pete Rose collection. Thanks for watching, everybody, and listen to me ramble for a little bit. Life is short, live it well. Peace.